In the past, I was a big monkey simp who never prioritized my needs over my wants when dating and in relationships. Instead, I always put the woman's demands ahead of mine, which did not end well for your boy. Most guys who were exploited, mistreated, and manipulated by the women prioritized a woman's happiness over their own, which is why most of us took a big L in our dating lives and long-term relationships. I'm living proof of this because I was with my ex at the time. For the most of the relationship, I thought I was doing the right thing by putting her needs, wants, and happiness ahead of mine. That's what some relationship experts on YouTube advised me. That's what I witnessed growing up watching Disney and other silly movies, and the people around me warned me not to anticipate sex from my ex. I think I'll wait until she is ready. As a result, I took the easy way out and simped. Unless you have heartbreak in the relationship that forces you to return to being a man. I recall vividly the day when everything went wrong in my previous relationship. It was the time I told myself, I love this girl. And everything I did after that point screwed up the relationship because I started playing her games and buying her rules. When you're in a relationship or dealing with a lady, you must never like her more than she likes you. That is one of the most important guidelines to follow. And the reason this is so crucial is that the instant you start acting on your feelings, it's all over. Remember that emotions are a woman's domain, and you as a male aren't qualified to deal with women if you can't think logically or see clearly. And it is this that destroys the lives of many men while dealing with. This happens frequently, and I've witnessed the terrible consequences of guys making emotional decisions. So in my opinion, regardless of who you're dealing with, you can't afford to play on their emotional playground since, to return to my previous argument, your happiness comes first. You will lose if you like a woman more than she likes you, primarily because you will prioritize her happiness. You'll eventually put her on a pedestal. Let me tell you something. You are the most important person in the world. Never forget that the only person you can fully rely on to accompany you through this life is yourself. Nobody else, no other lady, will love you and care out for your best interests like your mother does. So, you can't put more worth or importance on someone else's life and sacrifice yourself for their happiness. This applies to family, friends, relationships, and others in your community. I shudder when I see married men in unhappy marriages with women who don't care about them. Say they're staying for the kids. So that father would rather suffer at the expense of his children, who can still betray him and side with their mother. You folks can do it if he gets divorced, but I'm not going to sign up for it since my happiness comes first. It took me years of suffering to realize this, and now I can declare with certainty that I will never again put anyone above me. And you must decide whose happiness is more vital. If it's other people, you'll spend your entire life trying to satisfy them and becoming a people pleaser who is abused. But if it's just you, you can start living your life for and with yourself. As a man, you cannot call yourself macho or grow unless you do this. If everyone else's needs come first, yours will always come second. Sometimes you have to say no to others while saying yes to yourself, even if it means losing someone forever. And this was something I was unable to do in my previous relationship. As a result, I've been discarded like a used condom by my ex in this cold world. Your happiness should always take first. The next thing you need to grasp is that the ideal method to play the game is not to play at all. Here's how it works. There are two things that women can sell men to keep them around: hope and imagined future. Without those two things, manipulation cannot work, since you as a guy would have no incentive to converse or connect with. Because they don't want anything to do with women, males who go their own way are killing the game. As a result, a woman cannot sell optimism or imply future possibilities. As a result, these guys cannot be controlled. Only a fool would buy a product that hasn't been tested or that has no description of what it is. The same is true for women, and males must learn this the hard way. You would never have waited 3 months for some wet vice grip from a woman who has slept with several other guys if you were thinking logically, but you did because you were in her emotional playground and she sold you hope and future access to her body. That's why you're here. Logically, you should have understood that most of those men didn't have to wait long, but you didn't since you were caught up in your emotions. You believed the wait was worth it, but the wait is never worth it. She only used you to obtain what she wanted, and she dislikes you. So, you would handle this scenario by not following her guidelines. You walk away when she says you have to wait 90 days to rearrange her guts. The similar case may be made for males who marry a woman who isn't a virgin without first experiencing bedroom fun with her. This is like to having heart surgery performed by a dentist. It literally does not make sense. In my opinion, the dentist could conduct the procedure and you would be okay, fine. But please, if you make a stupid decision, you're probably screwed. So what rational man would marry that woman? When the marriage contract states that she should be the only person to give him bedroom fun till you die, he has never had sex with. What if she dislikes sex and you've already married her? For years, if not decades, you'll be trapped in a sexless marriage. As a result, as a male, you must constantly think logically while making decisions, particularly long-term ones. It all comes back to the idea that your happiness is more important than hers. If a woman is unwilling to do this for you, you must separate yourself from her. Never reward individuals who want to take advantage of you.